I want to introduce Chad Ruber from Skubana over here. Actually, can I do one more embarrassing thing? I do want to give a little intro who Chad is, that way you don't have to do it all yourself. So Chad builds e-commerce businesses. Fresh out of college in Wall Street, he took his family's vacuum business online and built his own direct-to-consumer e-commerce business, and it's called Crucial Vacuum. He took it from a $0 to $20 million valuation in just 7 years, and he actually is a top 250 seller on Amazon himself. So not only is he CEO of Skubana that he started with a colleague of his, DJ, he knows what the heck he's doing because he's literally done it firsthand. And I've obviously seen firsthand what he's capable of on the sales side because he actually is a client of ours, so we know he does very well. Skubana, a little bit about the tool. It really is one of the only softwares you need to manage and accelerate the growth of your e-commerce business. It really is beautiful, it's intelligent, and it's really intuitive, and it really encompasses every feature you really need to really drive your success. So, Chad Ruben, everybody.
All right, how are we doing, everybody? Yeah! Our Shalom Amazon sellers. So, I'm coming here to speak about profit. The reason why you guys are here is to make more money. And I want to drop as many gold nuggets as I can tonight and make sure that it's worth your time. I know you have free beer over here, but the real reason why us entrepreneurs are in the room tonight is to make more money. Can we get a hell yes? Yeah. So I'm not here to sell you anything, although I do have a software that I built, but I'm here to change the way you do business or your perspective on the way you do business. A little bit about myself. I've run a Crucial Vacuum. We sell vacuum filters. I started on Amazon. I was 100% FBA. And I got suspended twice from Amazon. Who here has gotten suspended from Amazon? Okay. So I really look at Amazon sellers like we either have this euphoric notion of selling on Amazon, like you're king of the world, or you have this terror notion of selling on Amazon, like you can lose everything in minutes. And I'm constantly in this roller coaster ride with Amazon. And I've had a hard time sleeping at night in some ways. I'm sure we all can, pretty much most of us can relate to this. So I started ramping up my sales. I got suspended from Amazon twice. I started to build a true business selling off-channel on other marketplaces and other shopping malls. So who here just sells on Amazon today? Just Amazon seller? Raise your hand. One. Okay, awesome. So we got some smart sellers in the room. So moving on from that, I needed to find a software that could run my business that was truly cloud-based, and so I built Skubana. And so when we first started off building Skubana, because I wouldn't have built it if something else existed out there today to run my business. We built it because we do so much order volume, and we do so many things, there is nothing out there that can accommodate our needs. So we built an all-in-one solution. So you ask Chad, WTF, why do I care about an all-in-one solution, right? Well, there's a real true benefit to actually having an all-in-one solution. Because when you unify your data, and let's back it up, how many people here are using multiple solutions to run their business today? Come on, I know there's more. You said don't be bashful. Okay, I was there. When you're using multiple solutions to run your business, you actually do not have any truth in your data. So whether or not you use Skubana or not, it really doesn't matter to me, right? What matters to me is that most sellers today don't have truth in their data to make smart business decisions. So let's start breaking that down a little bit. So by unifying data, right, you have access to every touch point in the ecosystem, right? So if you use a solution today that has a desktop shipper or a shipping solution that's not part of the actual software, how do you know what your true profit per SKU is? If you're an Amazon FBA seller, and raise your hands if you're still on Amazon FBA, because you should be on Amazon FBA if you're not. So especially with Amazon as an FBA seller. So I look at Amazon, Amazon's really interesting. Right? So Seller Central, how many people log into Seller Central daily? We gotta ask questions so I can get feedback. All right, so Seller Central, right? They'll show you how much revenue you're generating. They show you your revenue, you get paid out your settlement reports every 2 weeks. but they do not show you the other side of the coin. What is the other side of the coin? Well, are you making money? And so it's really an important thing to ask yourself, because a lot of sellers I talk to, and I talk to hundreds a week, are you making money on Amazon? And how do you know if you're profitable on Amazon FBA? Because Amazon does their best to not really show you everything that's happening behind the scenes. So I used to hire somebody to do this. His name was James Thompson. And he used to be my category manager before he left Amazon. And he used to put together a SKU profitability report every 6 months for my business. And what that SKU profitability report did was it took all my data and it told me what my returns were for all my FBA SKUs. What are my dormant fees applied to every SKU? And I thought it was a really good trade because he used to charge me like $15,000 every 6 months. But if you spend $15,000 to make $100,000, wouldn't you want to make that trade? Absolutely. So what he did was I approached him when we were starting Skubana, and he gave us the keys to his SKU profitability report. And in that report, we had a developer spend 3 months working on this report day in and day out, going through thousands and thousands and thousands of settlement reports, pulling all these hidden fees. So dormant fees, return commission fees, everything you can possibly do, we took this formula and implemented it into Skubana. So when I talk to sellers all the time, and we have some of the top Amazon sellers on our platform, and so if you look at the screen here, this is the benefit of getting unified data, right? So not only do you have your total sales, your profit margin, you also have opportunities and actions to take. The money saved, inventory, but as you start drilling down onto this, and again, this is not about, there's no other software that does this, but you still need to get into the mindset of thinking about what's your true profit per SKU. Not just your commission costs, not just your cost of goods sold, not just your shipping costs, true profit, including overhead costs, with all the hidden fees that Amazon FBA. So, do you have a question or are you raising your hand? I want this to be interactive, so yeah, let's jumpstart.
I see that you have a layout that there's SKUs and then there's the price picture, and based on that you can see a breakdown on whatever the profit per SKU is.
So that's a great question. So right now what you're looking at, because I didn't explain it, again, I'm trying to not sell Skubana because I feel like if I drop a tremendous amount of knowledge to you guys and have you walking away feeling like, hey, that was fun, that was value.
You promised me you wouldn't say an F word.
There you go. I just violated the contract. I got to pay $10,000. All right, so if you look at this here, you've got your product, you've got your margin per product, your unit margin, and your implied share. So I used to be on Wall Street, and so what we do is we rank your SKUs relative to each other, like a stock index. So now you can see how do your SKUs compare relative to each other. And what can you do when you actually have that kind of comparison? You can actually redeploy capital in a different way. So if you know that your 20% of your SKUs are where you're losing or you're bleeding, you can take away that 20% and redeploy capital into higher value, higher margin products. So on top of that, I just want to point out, I'm also a multi-marketplace seller, so I sell on 15 channels. So if you're looking here, we're not just a one-trick pony, right? We don't just say, hey, you should be on Amazon FBA, sweet dreams. What we do say is that you should really be on every freaking marketplace you possibly can be out there and have a true software that will tell you on a SKU by SKU basis if you're making money or not. Am I doing it on time?
Dude, you're really good.
Okay. So we break down every single channel you sell on to see where are there holes in your bucket. So I took this formula from James, we implemented into this, and it's what we consider the holy grail of e-commerce. So I want this to be interactive. I want to break this out into questions, comments. Like I want to be here to add a tremendous amount of value. So is there anybody that has a question, anything they want to cover? All right, we got Ed.
Is it SKUs only on Amazon or SKUs?
No, SKUs across every single channel you sell on. So when you invest in the software, you have to make sure you're investing in the software that doesn't take a percentage of revenue, but you're also investing in a software that allows you to expand your business upwards. Your ceiling is only as good as the software you invest in.
If something gets lost in shipping, that would be.
It's all the stuff that's lost in shipping is included in our SKU profitability report data. So you literally can see line by line where you're losing money in FBA. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Yeah, so we include all the Amazon, but the thing is, it's not just about to Amazon. So so the question is, do we include your shipping fees to Amazon FBA? And the answer to that is, we can actually bake it in the overhead cost if you know what your shipping costs are to Amazon FBA, but not until we launch FBA workflow, where you have, because we plan on taking on everything in the ecosystem. Like, we're not stopping here. Every single month, we're launching a new feature, because that's what sellers need to run their business. And you need to have a good software to run your business that's beautiful, that's intuitive, that's all-in-one, that's fully, truly on the cloud, or else you're wasting your time. And if you're using what? Yeah, so you can put these, you can populate these yourself. So you put them in annually, so I took my QuickBooks data for 2015, I populated every line item into the overhead cost, and we will prorate that since you've been on Skivan. I'm sorry. We see QuickBooks, we integrate to QuickBooks. Okay.
So we have one more mic, so for questions, make sure everybody
So the question is, and this is an interesting question, and I think this raises a good point. He says, why is this different than using a macro with Excel to run your business? Okay? So number one, if you're just FBA seller, maybe that would make sense, but you'd have to literally compile the FBA customer report per order fee, FBA customer return weight-based fee, the dormant fees, the inventory storage fees, every single report. We're talking about thousands of items on a daily basis to make it happen. So the next question I have to ask sellers today is, where are you spending your time, and how can you be automating your business to really scale your business? And I'm hoping I'm answering your question correctly, but there's a better use of your time than going through thousands and thousands of items a day.
The SKUs get converted automatically. We just put it in once in Excel, and I actually have a video of it, and it just converts all the SKUs.
I guarantee you don't have the secret sauce, but I'm willing to put your data to the test of what we've got, because we have the formula. So the other thing is that you're also just talking about Amazon FBA software, of course. So when I look at a true business, I do not when I started Crucial, I said to myself, how am I going to actually create a business that I can exit? Because we all want to be living in Aruba somewhere, or maybe Jamaica, or maybe you want to go back to the Holy Land, right? But how do you build a business that you can exit with not a 1x multiple? So if you're an Amazon seller today and you want to sell your business, you're going to get a 1x or 2x times EBITDA. If you actually have a true multi-marketplace business selling in multiple channels, you're going to get 6, 7x, 8x times your business valuation. So when you ask me a question like that, but you have a true business, a true sustainable business that you're building across multiple channels, that's the way to win in e-commerce, right? And you're not going to do it by just literally doing an Excel spreadsheet with a macro. Because chances are you're going to try and move away from FBA as much as you can. You want to take your business from 100% Amazon FBA or 100% Amazon to 60, 50%. That's a healthy number. If you're not at 50% Amazon right now, you're not at a healthy number online. So I just want to get to her question first.
API.
So we have an API.
Is there a possibility to sell multiple channels? Your experience, do you see more sales on multiple different channels? I tried it. It's
Okay.
like
You tried. Okay, so I hope everyone got that question. is the berry worth the squeeze, right? Is it worth it to sell off Amazon? So firstly, you'll sleep better at night if you do. Secondly, 40% of product searches today happen on Amazon. 40%, that's big. So I'm not telling you not to sell on Amazon. If you're not selling on Amazon, you're not relevant. But if you're not selling off Amazon, you're also not relevant because that means 60% of revenue is happening off Amazon today. So the berry is worth the squeeze. It's possible, but it takes work. It takes work, and that's really what business is about. It's about putting in the hard work and the hustle so you can actually extract the benefits and squeeze out the juice. So my second biggest channel, I just want to answer your question, what to your question? My second biggest channel is my own shopping cart, but I look at selling online, it's being everywhere. And I know World First has a lot of partnerships with a lot of marketplaces to make this happen, but we sell on 15 channels for a reason. Because we want to be everywhere. Because when you play Monopoly, and if anybody was at the Prosper Show, I talked about this a little bit in my presentation. When you play Monopoly, you want to be on every piece of the board. You want to own Park Ave, you want to own the utility, you want to own the railroad to win the game. The way to win in e-commerce is to be on every freaking marketplace and show up everywhere. So that's what we do. Is your question?
Your experience, can you name the 15 channels you're selling? Could you, if you're also go down and explain what you think is the most powerful channel?
So there's a thing in Amazon world, and we're all here as Amazon sellers. There's the thing called those who know don't say, and those who say don't know. And most people in the world that we live in right now don't say what they're doing. And I'm here to really change that. I really believe in sharing information. That's how I add value. So this gentleman asked me, can I share with everybody the channels I sell on? So I sell on every Amazon international property, eBay, internationally and locally, Newegg, Rakuten, Sears, Overstock, Wayfair, Shopify, Magento.
Global Industrial.
Oh, I said major marketplaces. Jet.com is not worth our time right now, but we'll talk later.
Major marketplace for us.
We can talk later about that.
It's a new one, not even like that. Not much competition.
You work at Jet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so we're getting close, but I need every channel. The last thing I want to mention is that my own shopping cart is my second biggest channel. Is a way for you to create you make a lot of money on Amazon and float that, take that as a bridge and invest in other channels. Like invest in your own brand. Because at the end of the day, your brand is what's going to sell. So I'm open to questions later on. I don't want to occupy the space, but hopefully I dropped some important information. If I didn't, come see me after and let's talk shop. I'm e-commerce all day long. Thank you so much for having me and listening.